48-hour countdown is over and the order has been signed. The Pentagon has just activated the 82nd Airborne's immediate response force. This isn't just another deployment, this is the global response force moving towards the Iranian coast, and it changes everything we thought we knew about this war. But while the boots are heading to the ground, something even darker is happening in the shadows of the global markets. Have you looked at the oil charts today? Massive billion-dollar trades are being placed minutes before President Trump hits post on Truth Social. Is this a strategic de-escalation, or are we witnessing the largest state-sponsored market manipulation in history? Trump is telling us talks are happening. Iran is telling us it's fake news designed to crash the price of the crude oil market. Meanwhile, Senator Lindsey Graham is calling for an Iwo Jima-style assault on Kharg Island. If that island falls, the global economy as we know it resets. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down both sides of the story, the leaked Pentagon orders, the truth behind the 82nd's mission, and exactly how this oil market is getting manipulated right now. You have less than 48 hours to prepare. And at the end of this video, we will be revealing this dire prediction from a senior Iranian military official, a direct message to President Trump. And he has some very worrisome words. We'll reveal that at the end of the video. So you can see right here, according to the Associated Press, citing a source with knowledge on the matter, the US will deploy roughly 1,000 troops from the US Army's 82nd Airborne Division to the Middle East, amidst the increasing reports of deployments to the Middle East. While the reports clash with earlier reports stating that 3,000 soldiers were to be deployed, it's likely that the conflicting reports are some attempt at obfuscation by US decision makers as a potential ground operation nears. So this is starting to escalate. We are seeing actual evidence of troop movements, troop orders. The Middle East situation seems to be building up to a massive endgame that we'll talk about later in the video. And this is all happening. So troops are literally leaving the USA today. They're heading to the Middle East. And this is all centered around what is happening with the Strait of Hormuz, the coastline of Iran. And you can see this is on the back end of massive flights to the area. So we are witnessing 35 C-17 flights since March the 12th. And more war equipment is heading to the region right now. One thing Iran has hit back at the USA for is saying the Strait of Hormuz is not actually closed. So according to a readout from Iranian Foreign Minister's Telegram channel, he says vessels from the US, Israel, and all nations involved in strikes on Iran will not be allowed to transit the Strait of Hormuz. All other vessels are reportedly allowed through the Strait of Hormuz, providing they coordinate traffic with Iranian authorities. And if that doesn't even confuse you more, Trump has come out with this today. So have a listen to this. Let me know what you think of this statement.
Well, I think we're going to end it. I can't tell you for sure. You know, I don't like to say this. We've won this. This war has been won.
So confusion reigns from Trump once again. So if he's already won the war, why are more troops getting sent from the 82nd Airborne to the Middle East right now? Why is the situation in terms of military assets moving further and further into the Middle East? And also, to make things even more confusing, Trump has stated this. So let's listen into this. And this is also linked in to the financial markets. And we'll take a look at some of the oil prices soon.
They're going to make a deal. They're going to make a deal. They did something yesterday that was amazing, actually. They gave us a present, and the present arrived today. And it was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant prize. And they gave it to us, and they said they were going to give it. So that meant one thing to me: we're dealing with the right people.
Is that nuclear related?
No, it wasn't nuclear related. It was oil and gas related. And it was a very nice thing they did. But what it showed me is that we're dealing with the right people.
So Trump dealing with the right people, Trump getting presents, big presents, and breaking intelligence. You know, we have tracked down exactly who Trump has been dealing with. And he's been dealing with Santa Claus in Iran right now. So Santa Claus is on holiday giving Trump presents. And that's who is running with the negotiations with Trump right now. So Santa, obviously Trump somehow got on Santa's good list, even though Trump was allegedly on Epstein's list as well. Don't know how that works, but that's who Trump is negotiating with. And that is your classic vague post right there from Trump. So I don't know who he's talking about, who he's really talking about, what's actually being negotiated. I mean, your guess is as good as mine in this situation. And we're going to have to see how this plays out. But one thing that is for real, we have seen the Iranians deny a lot of what Trump is saying. So we'll get to that. But one thing we need to understand is this is actually impacting the financial market. So in the last 24 hours, based off what Trump has been saying, and he's also alluded to a 4-week ceasefire, which could also either be true or it could also be another level of deception right here. But this is coming out of the Iranian side from the Speaker of Islamic Republic of Iran's parliament. And he says, we are aware of what is happening in the paper oil market, including the firms hired to influence oil futures. We also see the broader jawboning campaign. But let's see if they can turn that into actual fuel at the pump or maybe even print gas molecules. So he's making fun of this whole situation, but you can also see, look, the oil price has been volatile. So it very carefully, it does, tend to react to what Trump has been saying. So Trump is coming out with big announcements. It does react to this. So you can see it actually get pushed down here in the short term. The $1 trillion question or even the quadrillion dollar question is whether this can remain low. And at the same time, you have to understand in the background, both of these parties have way different demands. So Trump is saying one thing, the Iranians are saying something else. You can see right here some general principles of what Iran actually wants. They have said right here, guarantees against future military action, compensation for war-related losses, and that's absolutely that's an astronomical number. So they want the US to come in and rebuild everything they've blown up, which would literally cost hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars right there. Formal control over the Strait of Hormuz, no restrictions on its ballistic missile program. That's what the Iranians are saying. Now, on the US side, it's completely inverted because they are demanding some other things that the Iranians just simply won't agree to. But broadly speaking, you can see the 15 clauses, and in addition to a 1-month ceasefire, that the US wants right here. So we'll read these out. So number 1, automatically cancel the threat of reimposition of sanctions. 2, dismantling Iran's existing nuclear capabilities. 3, agreement with Iran. Iran vows to never seek nuclear weapons. Number 4, preventing the enrichment of any nuclear material on Iranian territory. Number 5, delivery of enriched uranium to the IAEA. Number 6, decommissioning and destroying the sites of Natanz, Isfahan, and Fordow. Number 7, grant the IAEA full access to all information. Number 8, Iran abandons proxies approach. Number 9, stopping funding and arming militias in the region. Number 10, keeping the Strait of Hormuz open without any closure. Number 11, postpone of decision on ballistic missile program. Number 12, ballistic missiles are only used for defense. Number 13, lifting all sanctions on Iran. Number 14, support for the development of a civilian nuclear program in Bashir. And number 15, automatically cancel the threats of reimposition of sanctions. So right there, that is what the Americans are pushing towards. But I have to say, the 1-month ceasefire, that would, from my own independent point of view, that would massively favor the US, because that would give them the opportunity to, resupply all the defensive interceptors and things like that, because that's one thing we know the US is running low on. So the ballistic missiles and the drones, they seem to just continuously come out of Iran. And as this war drags on, more and more of them are getting more effective at actually getting through and hitting US and US allies in the region. So these two positions are so far apart right now. And at the same time, you can see just the impact on the oil market. So oil prices, based off what Trump is saying, they've been dropping, right? And you have also seen at the same time in the short term. So I want to stress this is just short-term movements reacting to what Trump is saying, what the US is coming out with right here. You can see silver actually having a nice day today. So we appreciate that. Gold having a nice day today. So we're going to appreciate that. And Brent dropping. So you're going to see this inversion effect where, when the oil prices go down, the stock market will go up, precious metals will go up. That is the trend that is happening in the market. But again, you need to pay attention also to what is actually happening. So not what just Trump is saying, because we do know in the past, Trump has said some things and they haven't actually matched reality, but just pay attention to the 82nd Airborne Division. Pay attention to the actual flow of military goods into the Middle East, because again, we could be heading towards this grand event, which is the actual, complete, potential invasion of Iran or the Strait of Hormuz, or the conquering of the Strait of Hormuz. And this is huge. And we do know also the Iranians will react accordingly. And you can see here, we're going to get to that massive video coming out from this senior Iranian military commander. But he also says right here, if Trump attacks Iran's infrastructure, it will no longer be an eye for an eye, but an eye for a head, hand and tail, and America will be paralyzed. And we're going to wrap up this video with this speech from an Iranian general, and it's going to highlight just where this conflict can potentially go. And just remember, if this does go to the final stage, so it doesn't have a diplomatic end to this, and there isn't actually an agreement, which at the moment, it looks like both parties are so far apart that it doesn't seem to be happening, it could get very, very bad. And what that means is a complete shutdown of the Strait of Hormuz. It means a complete shutdown of exports out of the Persian Gulf. It means, a diabolical situation for the world economy. So pay attention to what this guy's going to say. And if you want the next update on the channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's listen into what this official has to say.
من این قیافه گرفتن آقای ترامپ که نگاه میکنم یاد گیر کردن لشکرهای هیتلر تو برفای روسیه میافتم. هیتلر اونجا که شکست خورد دیگه تا خود آلمان هم نتونست حفظ کنه، نصف آلمان رفت. اینا متوجه نیستن که ایران همون برفای روسیه است. هرچه ترامپ میاد جلوتر اوضاعش بدتر میشه. ترامپ اینا گفته ببینید من نمیخوام یه جنگ طولانی بکنم، من یه حمله بیشتر نمیخوام بکنم، کوتاه مدت. خب آقای ترامپ، تو فکر کردی ما بعد از اینکه یه حمله کوتاه مدت کردی دوباره تقاضای آتش بس میخوای بکنی؟ حتما بعد فکر میکنید ایران این بارم آتش بس رو قبول میکنه؟ ما توصیه میکنیم عقب برید، دیگه بیشتر از این جلو نیایید. ما اگر راه بیفتیم ما دیگه بحث آتش بس و این چیزا نداریم. ما هم الان به صراحت بهتون میگیم این ضرباتی که زدید، این خساراتی که تو این 50 سال وارد کردید، این هرچه ما داریم نجابت و صبر راهبردی به خرج میدیم شما توجه نمیکنید. بله مسئله جدیه، ولی نیروهای مسلح ما آمادن. ما دستمون نه تنها روی ماش است، آقای ترامپ گلوله هم توی لوله تفنگه و آماده است. آقای ترامپ هر شب خواب نفت و گاز ایران رو میبینه. این باید از کلش بیاد بیرون.